Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about taking action. People talk about taking action, and to be honest with you, this video is going to be a bit of a rant because I speak to agency owners and new service-based business owners every single day, all the time, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them every single day. And the one thing that I keep hearing, especially from some of the younger guys, is about they want to take action. And I have a really interesting take on this that I think a lot of people are going to like. People that do consider taking action and they have issues taking action, I think you're going to enjoy this one and you're going to get a ton of value from it. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Ben Lister and I help agency owners to save thousands and thousands of hours by sometimes even doing their outreach for them so they can start to work on the agency rather than working in the agency. So the reason that I'm thinking about this is because today's a Saturday and on Tuesday, I think it was, I had like 3 calls where 3 people mentioned to me about taking action, that they want to take more action. The reason that they are interested in growing their agency is because they want to take action. And I believe this started from some of the big YouTubers, some of the guys who have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And the idea is that because you are watching too many YouTube videos and you are doing too much watching and consuming, you're not doing enough doing. And so simply by putting in some effort and actually, working on the agency, doing some outreach, taking some steps towards the agency, you are therefore taking action. And this is considered to be a step, something that is achievable, an achievement, to be taking action. But the thing is that this is the bare minimum. To take action or to work on your business every single day is literally just the minimum. Alex Hormozy talks about this, where before he would say if he worked on something for a day, then it was quite a lot. He spent a whole day working on that. But now he deals in hundreds of hours, hundreds of days, hundreds of any sort of metric that you can get your hands on. That's what you should deal with. And a lot of people that I speak to, they're not dealing in days. They're not dealing in hours, they're dealing in minutes and seconds. I did 25 outreaches this week. And look, I get it. It's difficult for some people. People don't have the time. This is new to some people, so they want to learn some certain things. But I'm telling you now, if your idea of being successful, if your idea of actually putting in the effort is just by taking action, just by getting something done, whatever that may be, you're not going to make it. You're simply not. The idea that you are going to get the kind of result that you're looking for, and lots of people that do talk to me about this, they want to make huge sums of money. They want to make 50, 100k in a single month. And they think they can do it in the next 6 months just by, taking some action, just by doing a little bit of work. But in actual fact, it really won't happen. To get to that point, you have to be seriously in this game for a long, long time. I'm talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to get to that point that you're looking for. But just to make $10,000 a month, I know I say just to people that aren't in the industry, then people that I speak to people that don't run businesses and I'm like, it's only 10,000 a month. It sounds like the most pretentious stuff ever because it sounds like you're just disregarding that, but it's a lot of money. It's literally the 1% of the 1%. Across the globe, you are in like the uber rich category if you're making $10,000 per month. But to make that amount of money, you have to put in a bit of effort. And it's very basic, it's very simple to do that, but it takes a lot of time. It does take a lot of action. And if you're not working 6 days a week, at least, if you're not doing 30 or 40 hours every single week, additionally on whatever you're overdoing, so if you're having a full-time job, if you're a student, you still need to put in that 30, 40 hours just on the business itself to get to this point. And the idea that, because now I'm taking action and this is the thing that I'm doing. And as well, I saw a very, very big YouTuber, not really in the agency space, talk about the fact that to attend a coaching call, to watch a coaching call and to just listen to someone was to be taking action, to be doing some work. And I couldn't disagree with that more. You watching this video now, as much as, you probably get some kind of value from it and you're going to get some information out of it, it's not taking action. It's not the best thing that you could be doing, to be completely honest with you. There is a place for it, of course, because you can't just be going flat out working all the time. But this is not deep work. This is not taking action. Taking action is having sales calls. Taking action is reviewing your sales calls. Taking action is building a business plan and then actually going and implementing that, rather than just watching YouTube videos all day and thinking, this is what I'm going to do. This is my business plan. This is how I'm going to do it. Having a sales call with someone and just telling them you're going to make 50k a month is not taking action. The way that you take action is by just getting up every single day and putting in the work. It's starting by doing your lead sourcing, then it's starting by doing your cold emails, then it's starting by doing your sales calls, your service delivery, and so on and so forth. If it doesn't contribute to one of these 4 things directly, then it doesn't count as any sort of reasonable and fair contribution to the business. So if it's not booking more sales calls, if it's not taking more sales calls, if it's not serving more clients, and if it's not retaining more clients, then you should not pay any interest to it. And what I mean by this is not, I'm watching a video on how to lead source, I'm watching a video on how to book appointments, I'm watching a sales call back that someone did that they've posted on YouTube. It's actually going and doing the thing. It's taking the sales call. It's doing the cold outreach. It is implementing the lead sourcing system, and it is managing your clients and having check-in calls with your clients and all that kind of stuff. And if it's not one of those 4 categories, if the task doesn't fall into one of those, then it doesn't count. And so this isn't time that you've added onto your business. And one thing that I went through recently is I actually have an old notepad here, right? And I'm not going to go through this details because there's a lot of probably quite personal stuff on here. But I used to write down basically non-negotiables for my daily life. And this was 6 days per week, right? And basically the day wasn't complete, or there wasn't a successful day until these things had been done. And there's quite a few different ones in here that's on the very back page, because this is where I used to go all the time, and I'd basically just look at them and say, okay, this is what I need to do every single day under no circumstances. And eventually, obviously after I'd done pretty well and I'd be signing a few clients and I'm making a bit of money, it got to quite a lot, right? And there was quite a few things I need to do every single day. And now I'm not saying that this thing is, the be all and end all, because if you do this, then you're going to be taking loads of action and doing loads of work and stuff like that. And what I was doing was the most extreme thing in the world, right? But this is kind of what it takes to get to a pretty reasonable amount of money in the agency game. So there's 8 things here that I was doing every single day. So I would exercise from 6 a.m. till 7 a.m. I would have 4 days a week where I would do a push-pull leg split, which if you into weightlifting, you'll know what that is. And then it was 2 5K runs, so 6 days a week. 10 minutes of meditation, but sometimes that'd be quite a lot more. It'd be 15 or 20 minutes more. 30 minutes of focused mindset or visualization work. So basically this would be before I actually started my deep work at 9 a.m. I would do some kind of visualization. I would do some kind of mindset work where I would go through, statements that I'd read and, plans that I had and goals for the future and stuff like that. 30 minutes of reading. 200 plus outreaches per day. This is just for myself. So I had a team that I was managing as well that were doing their own outreach. I'd have to make sure that I logged everything in a performance tracker that I had, and I would plan tomorrow today, which basically means just creating my plan for tomorrow, the specifics about what I was doing. I would also make sure that I was having a deep work block from 9 till 12 every single day. And this would basically be no phones, no distractions, literally nothing, phone off. I would be here in this little tiny box office that I have, and I would literally just get things done. My phone would be off. People would be thinking that I've died and they'd be trying to call me. I remember it took people a while to get used to this, but basically friends and family members and stuff would be like, I tried to call you and your phone was off, or is your number not working anymore? Have you changed your phone number or something like that? And I'd be like, no, it's just off. This is the period of time where I'm just basically not contactable. This is when I work on my business. And then another thing I put in here as well was I always made sure to be outside at lunch, because basically being in this small little office box room, which is literally, I think if I lay down from side to side, I'd probably touch both ends of the wall. I couldn't lie down straight. It was pretty torture to be in here all the time. I now have a couple of different places where I work, so it's not that bad. This is the level that you kind of need to be at as a minimum, really, to get to this point. And just because you do this, it doesn't even mean that you're going to make that 10K per month. For the longest time when I was working through schedules like this, I was basically making next to nothing, a couple of $1,000s a month, if that. And if you want to get to that point when you're making 10, 20, 30K a month, taking action is not the goal. It is the bare minimum. And if you don't have a routine like this in place, if you're not doing, at least 8 hours per day if you're full-time, at least, probably a bit more, to be honest, probably you need to do 10 minimum if you're full-time. If you have school or a commitment or something else like that, you still need to put in that 30, 40 hours per week. Outside of the business, you could easily do 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, and then do a full day on Saturday as well. But this is kind of the minimum requirements. And this is based on my experience as well. I know guys that have got other things going on and they've got, school and a couple jobs and stuff like that, and they're still able to scale their agency to that 15, 20K per month mark. And it really just is about getting the work done. And the whole idea at the moment that, taking action and doing something other than watching YouTube videos, whether it's or sometimes even watching YouTube videos, and attending a coaching call and stuff like that, is taking action. I mean, it just gets me kind of mad. And I know that it might sound a bit sort of conspiracy theory and conspiratorial, but some of the people that are pushing this narrative are the ones that made a lot of money. There is a very sort of, I learned about this in a podcast as well. There's a lot of people who make, who are billionaires now, worth loads and loads of money, and they will tell you, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. But when it came to it, when they were making their money, they were a slave to the game. They were literally 12 hours a day non-stop. Like Jeff Bezos talks about it, where he talks about, you don't have to work super hard, you don't want to do meetings in the afternoon and stuff like that. But that man was living in the office for 10 years, if not more, just being an absolute slave. And this is the kind of thing that you need to get these outsized returns that most people are probably looking for. And there's a lot of guys that might say, that taking action or joining my coaching calls or watching my YouTube videos is taking action, maybe to get you to watch their YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I will tell you that you watching this video now is not taking action. And the one thing that I could recommend you to do is to, after this video is finished or it's just about to wrap up now, is to just go and do something. Pick up the phone, start dialing, start doing some cold emails, start working on your client service delivery, whatever it may be. Just pick up the laptop and get going. And that is how you get close to your goals, not by watching these YouTube videos and learning stuff online. But yeah, if you need more clients, link in the description. We're not going to ask for your email or your phone number. Don't worry about it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Cheers.